The Last of Us Part 2 is a really gritty, dark game that looks at revenge and hatred and the much darker side of human emotions.
Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed and get this over with?
Compared to the first game, which was more light and full of hope in some ways. There were dark moments, but it was more interspersed with the light. Last of Us 2, you feel like you're slowly sinking into something that you can never escape from, which is honestly what I love about the game. It is how it should feel when you're going down this path, and it can be beneficial to look at these types of stories and see how these people can end up on these paths that they really... Like, Ellie isn't a bad person, but she somehow gets sucked into being truly evil at points. So in that sense, it is an important game for anyone to play. But the question is, now that it has a remaster, is the remaster worth it?
I think this answer really depends on each individual and how much you really like this game. So we want to talk mostly about the no return mode. I actually really like the no return mode because after I finished The Last of Us 2 for the first time, when I went to replay it, a lot of times I didn't necessarily want to replay the story. I wanted to just do gameplay. I'm a very casual player, so I like to just jump in, play for a little bit, and just maybe not play again for a while. And I kind of find it hard because the game does have a lot of cutscenes, and has a lot of very low, slow sections where you have to collect a lot of things before the next encounter. So when they added this mode, that's what really got me excited, is that you can just play. It's hardcore, I'm not gonna lie. If you think you know the game in and out, this is different. I mean, they use a lot of the same sections that are in the game, but everything is randomized, so it's like you kind of have to survive with what you have. And I really like that. I also like the new characters, that we can play different characters. That's pretty cool because throughout the game, you get attached to all of the different characters. So getting to play them was really cool.
So talking about a couple of the characters that you can play, you can obviously play Ellie and Abby, since you can play them in the story mode, but let's talk about some of the unlockable characters. So let's start with Ellie's side. What was it like playing Dina?
So Dina was one of the characters that I was most excited to play. It was kind of hard to play Dina and get ahead. I actually didn't get really far with her, and I think because every character has different weapons that they start with and different things that they can craft. So every character is different and they have benefits.
I think each character has their Achilles heel. I don't know what the actual word would be for that, but certain characters can't dodge, certain characters don't run as fast.
Yeah, like Joel and Tommy can't dodge, but Tommy starts with a sniper, which is nice. Like, I actually love playing Tommy. Who wasn't that can't heal?
Manny doesn't have a craftable healing kit at all.
Yeah, so some of them can heal, and then Mel is the total opposite.
Yeah, Mel, she can whip them out from everywhere. Like, you are never low on health. As long as you have time to heal, you can probably heal if you're playing Mel. So I actually enjoyed that because when I play, I like to run and gun and do stupid shit. Like, I like to run into the middle of a firefight and then, retreat and heal afterwards. That's just what I like to do. So Mel is really good for that. So who was your favorite character that you played?
I have to go with Joel because it was the first one that I was able to finish no return mode. It is actually really hard to finish, or at least I found it hard to get through the end. And the boss was the bloater level. Who was your favorite?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Manny. Just because it was such a versatile character, even though he didn't have the healing, and I just talked about how much I loved playing Mel because she had the healing, but he had so many options unlocked immediately, so it felt very versatile. Like, you could pick a different style, and he had that sniper pistol, so it's kind of like Tommy, but it's a pistol, so it also works really well at short range. So I really liked the versatility of that character.
You got to play Lev and Yara. How was that?
I was a little disappointed by Lev because Lev is one of my favorite characters in the game. I love Lev. Lev is life. But I am not sneaky, and Lev is a very, like, you have to be good at stealth, and it's not even like playing a glass cannon because it's not necessarily a lot of damage that Lev does when he lands a hit, but it's very tricky. You've got to be in stealth. If you're trying to run from everything or you have to take on something head on, it's a lot harder with Lev. Yara I found very interesting because Yara always goes into a fight with Lev. She has a whole upgrade branch where the Lev character that follows you will get more aggressive and take better shots and stuff. So Yara was a little bit more interesting in that respect, but they were definitely some of the more challenging characters to play. You played Jesse more, so what did you think of Jesse?
I love Jesse. He was fast, and that's one of the things like I really like is there's some areas of the no return that you just have to be fast, you know. A lot of it you have to be sneaky, but he was fast and he got more currency than anybody else, so it was pretty easy to just buy weapons. So I really liked that about him. I found him pretty easy to play.
I think the currency thing was a little tongue-in-cheek joke because of the whole he makes 30% more money after you've spent hours playing 2 female characters. We talked about how the encounters are randomized, but also there are different modifiers, like there might be Molotovs falling from the sky. The camera might be randomly a different color, and your reaction when you realized that this was a thing that happened was breathtaking.
Why is it red? What the hell?
We did not do well whenever the camera was a different color. So we found even though there were certain modes we weren't as good at, like Hunted, we would choose those if the other option had a altered camera. So you take a lot of different things into account as you're picking your path across the board. So the no return, the different game modes that you can play, there's several different ones that you unlock. From the get-go, you have Assault and Hunted. And Assault is your standard, you've got waves of enemies, you gotta kill so many enemies per wave, and then you move on. The Hunted sucks. Because either you're hiding, which I'm not a good hider, so that never happened for me. We played this game, I think we have 6 to 10 hours into it at this point, and I was never able to hide. It never happened for me. Tiffany was able to do it, I was not able to do it.
Yeah, just once. I stayed in one corner, no one found me. And that's really hard. So Hunter, you just mostly run.
Just run.
You just go.
Capture is kind of a fun mode. I actually really like Capture because your goal is to get to the safe within 2 minutes so that you can get extra currency, extra parts, extra goodies, stuff like that. But if you don't make it in the 2 minutes, you don't fail. So you can still just get out by killing everybody. So in a way, it's similar to the Assault, except everybody's there at the beginning. However, I just said that about the timer. There is a random modifier to a level that can pop up where you only have a set amount of time, and that has killed me multiple times, where I have run out of time, so just randomly out of the blue, your eyeball just explodes out of your head for no reason.
This has not happened to me, and it didn't happen when I was next to you, so this is news to me.
Randomly, there will also be a mailbox that you can deposit certain items into, and then if you do that, you can sometimes get a gun or extra supplies. It's usually worth it if you can make it happen.
Yep.
Holdout mode, I believe it's 30 enemies come at you, and you have to keep your ally alive. It's not like 30 all at once, like a total horde mode. They come out like staggered a little bit, but you have to fight them all. When we were doing horde mode and Tiffany was playing Joel, there was a bloater and she just started screaming, and then the shambler appeared and she started screaming more, and she's like, who does this? Why are they doing this? She runs out of the room.
Who puts shamblers and bloaters together? Like, come on, like it's already hard enough.
And then I'm like, Dina, because we have to save Dina.
Yeah.
And Tiffany's like, to hell with Dina.
And I just run, and then I had to come back to save her because if she dies, I'm done.
Since Tiffany, you were the only person who was able to get to the boss.
So So the first boss is the arcade bloater, and that was intense. They also put a shambler in there with the bloater, which I didn't appreciate. Every time you beat a boss, then you unlock another boss. So next time we do another run through, when we make it to the end, we're gonna have a different boss that we have to fight with.
One of the other big things they added to the game was lost levels, which were pre-alpha built levels that didn't quite make it to the final game.
I like the Jackson area, so it shows you this part that you never really got to play, and I think they cut it out mostly for pacing reasons. And it makes sense that they cut it, but I like that we had the opportunity to kind of walk through and see a little bit more. Now, this part is not really finished, so there is no dialogue, but you can walk around and see what the outside of, it was a party that they had going on, like a carnival or something like that. You can go and grab a drink, and you actually have the action where you can like grab a drink, so that's pretty cool. And then you can get your face painted by Kat, by the way, which is Ellie's ex-girlfriend, so you get to see her. And this all happens before the dance. So at the beginning of the Jackson level, it is Ellie literally just like shaking, you know? Just kind of like, and they did that when Joel died, when she was about to go to his house, where she was nervous and she was like kind of shaking. So that same thing where her hand was shaking before she opened the door. Jackson, this started with Ellie just being nervous, like her hand was shaking, and it was because she was so nervous about seeing Dina because she liked her so much. She was nervous for two different things, but
yes, and it's so fun. Like you can hear all of the director commentary of what they were trying to do with the level and the emotional resonance they were going for and why they ultimately didn't do certain things.
Yeah. The second lost level was the sewers, and you got to play that one, right?
Yes.
What did you think?
I'm glad they cut it. So what it added was about 10 minutes to the sewer section where you get swept into the sewers right before you go to the Seraphite section, I think. And it's an extra platforming level with some water direction, and the puzzle is kind of fun, kind of cute, but I do think that the sewer section would have been too long with it. The thing that I really liked that I wish would have gotten into the game somewhere was they have a flash as Ellie's going through a tunnel where she hallucinates that a dead clicker is Joel. And I wish there would have been more moments like that in the game.
Yes, because it kind of showcases where her mind was at. Even though you can kind of see it as she's trying to hunt these people down to kill them, you know, the people that went after Joel, you know, like just having these moments like this, it would have kind of showcased a little bit more where her mind was at. We could have maybe understood better at the end why she left the farm to go after Abby after all. So they could have used that to build that a little bit better.
So then that brings us to the boar hunt, which I genuinely think would have made the game better if it had been left in.
They should have left that. I think that was, they should have not cut that. I think the transition between what happened in the theater after Abby left into the farm was very weird. I was a bit confused. And I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but I was like, is this a dream? Like, all of a sudden, time passed, and Ellie and Dina are in a farm with a baby, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I think this was supposed to be put there in between somewhere. So I think that would have kind of given us time to get over our feelings and what just happened. It was short, it was sweet. They should have not cut that.
So to the story mode, something that they added was the director commentary, and I played a little bit of the cutscenes just to see what that was like, and I've always been one of the people that really gets into what was the artist's intention, why did they make certain choices, some of the production problems behind the scenes, stuff like that.
In video games, it's extremely expensive and hard, and we had to run this whole physics simulation on this shot, this right here. This is so tricky to pull off.
I really thought that added something for me.
Yeah. So what do you think about the graphics?
So the graphics, I felt were really good in the original. So unless you have them side by side, for me, it's kind of hard to tell what the improvements were because it's very subtle.
The question is it worth buying the remastered version? Well, that depends. The good thing is if you own the original copy, you can get this for $10. And for me, that's worth it because you don't only get the improved graphics, you get the no return mode. And for me,
Yeah.
that alone was worth it. I absolutely love playing that. So again, it's something that you don't have to go into the story, just straight gameplay. It's so intense, and if you need a little bit of practice, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think is worth it to get the upgrade.
Also, with what you're getting for the upgrade, like you're also getting the commentary, you're getting you're getting lost levels, you're getting behind the scenes stuff. So to me, that alone is also worth $10.
You're a hardcore fan, yeah. Like
Yeah.
you get to expand more into different parts of the game that you've never seen before. So yeah, I do think it's worth it. But I guess that's different for everybody. So what do you think? Have you played the game? Have you played the remastered version? If you play the original game, would you play the remastered version? What's your opinion? Let us know. Now, is it worth it to buy as a new game, to pay the full price for it? I think this game is worth it. I think it's worth every penny. I love this game. It is one of my favorite games, and I love how strong and dark the story is. And I know that it made a lot of people mad. This game made a lot of people angry. But I love strong stories like that because they make you feel something.
You
know?
definitely
Yes.
feel something. There is no playing this game and feeling like, I'm just playing a game. It's a very strong experience.
Yep.
And quick shout out, thanks to Naughty Dog for letting us have an early access copy so that we can let y'all know what we think about it.
That's all we have to say for now. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye!